Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back to your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we are going to be talking about my overall plan to make $1 million in crypto in 2024. Now, currently speaking, as we look at this space and as we look at everything happening around crypto, it has been an incredible year for crypto. But this is just the beginning. As we have everything aligning perfectly for crypto to explode in 2024, I think that now is probably one of the best times to be positioned in this market and also paying attention to a few trends that are actually brewing right now around crypto as well, while interest is still pretty much flat. By the end of this video, I hope that you guys learned something. Hope that you guys get a little bit of a glimpse into what my overall plan here around crypto actually is. And also, maybe it could help you position yourselves as well for 2024 and possibly even 2025. So with that being said, let's dive on in and let's start off talking about the overall market. So currently I am recording this a little bit ahead of time, so prices are most likely going to change, but we're not really focused on the price. What we're talking about right now is the market heating up. We're already at the $1.67 trillion position in the entire crypto market versus the $3 trillion all-time high back in November of 2021. Right now, currently, we do see Bitcoin heating up. Bitcoin was at $15,000 back in November of 2022. Kind of crazy to think about that, considering the fact that it's at almost $45,000 right now. But altcoins are starting to break out in a big way, and some of these altcoins are doing incredible moves across the board. And this is probably why you need to pay attention to what trends are actually being a big hit right now in crypto. Currently speaking, as we do look at cryptocurrency, like I said, the overall trend around crypto is practically dead, but that doesn't mean that all of the trends around crypto are dead. The term cryptocurrency right now worldwide for the past 5 years is pretty much flat, and we did see this being a big thing even going back to 2020 before we did see the market starting to erupt in a big way and the retail flood coming right back into the space. As we do see the ETF discussions heating up and becoming a big topic, I do think that that is going to bring in a lot more interest, especially as the mainstream media starts to push that topic a lot more. But this is the thing. I personally expect the overall market to hit about roughly $5 to $7 trillion in market cap total for the entire space. If we are looking at the altcoin market, aka the total 2 chart over on TradingView, we know right now that this thing is starting to try breaking out. So this is attempting a major breakout. And currently we are sitting at roughly it's like $750 million or $1 trillion right now. So 700 and almost like $65 billion in market cap for all of the altcoin market. We know back in 2021 at the all-time highs, this had roughly half of the overall market cap of crypto, while Bitcoin did retain the rest of the portion. If we are talking about the $5 to $7 trillion market cap area for all of crypto, then the altcoin market would be sitting at about roughly $2.5 trillion to almost $3.5 trillion, which is pretty crazy considering the fact that from our level right now in the altcoin market, you're looking at about roughly a 229% run to possibly a 300 and almost 60% run within the entire altcoin market. So what is the conclusion here? Well, if we're starting to have this big breakout and if crypto does hit $5 to $7 trillion in market cap, then the altcoin market is poised for a massive move. And it couldn't be a better time to be looking into crypto right now, as like I said, the trend around crypto is practically dead while we are starting to see some major breakouts, or at least attempting to see major breakouts on some of these big charts that do matter. Now, trends around crypto and 3 areas that I'm really focused on. I'm actually going to go over 4 because I did not include the 4th one, but we are going to be talking about it and addressing it. So these are the big areas that I personally am focused on. Now, if you guys are new to the channel, it's okay. For those that are new, I'm just going to let you guys in on a little bit of a secret that yes, I love utility grade tokens. I like tokens that are actually providing some sort of value and also some sort of use. I said, going back to November 24th over on X, I said, focus on the trend shift. Right now, AI, SocialFi, and gaming are the 3 biggest trends in crypto right now. Now, I didn't include the 4th one, which is RWA, real world assets. This is tokenization of RWAs. I personally believe that we will see billions to trillions flowing into this space, and these 4 trends will be big winners. Focus on projects that are also converging blockchain and AI for the ultimate enterprise solution. I see a lot of people mocking Casper. Casper is one token that we do talk about on the channel. It's price action, but fail to realize that they are one of the big players behind this. So let's look into these trends. So AI crypto. This is actually starting to pick up some pace. It did start to pick up some pace back in February. For those that were not around in February, we started to see some of the altcoin market breaking out in February and actually topping in February. And we can actually see the trend here that this actually topped out as well at 100. So this is where most of the focus was. And since then, this has started to pick up some more pace. Gaming crypto. This started to pick up some pace back in August of 2023. So just recently. But it has kind of died out a little bit. But I do think that we will see the same levels that we've seen back in November of 2021. That's when this was pretty much at its all-time highs. And you can actually see how fast it started to pick up some pace. Now, real-world asset tokenization, aka RWA crypto. Guys, this is really heating up. This was practically dead forever until just recently. This is why I say that this is becoming a big trend. And you need to be focused on real-world asset tokenization coins, which we will talk about here in a second. But also, over here on SocialFi or SoFi, this hasn't really seen a big move. I mean, it was a big topic back in February of 2022 and just recently, but nothing really crazy just yet. But as we do see here, we are starting to see this picking up some traction. So again, this is one to really kind of watch for and look into. Now, let's address these categories over on CoinMarketCap. So first and foremost, top AI and big data tokens. Now, when we are doing the research around tokens, make sure that you are aware of a few things. Make sure that you are diving deep into the team. Make sure that you are diving deep into the use cases. The tokenomics are crucial as well. And understand some of the partnerships and the things that they have in place. Make sure that you are doing as much research as you possibly can. Before you even invest $1, make sure that you know the ins and the outs of these projects. But right now, the market cap of top AI and big data tokens is about roughly $21.5 billion. This is practically nothing compared to some of the other categories within this space. But this does have some of the largest gainers this year included in this overall category. For an example, you have INJ, you have Render, you have Graph. Some of these are big plays. And for those that are not aware, I do hold the Graph. I also hold Rose as well. These are 2 of my big plays. There's also some other great ones on here as well. Some notable ones like Akash, for an example, is a great one. Even Ocean as well. But again, make sure that you are doing as much research as possible. Tau is another great one. But again, make sure that you are looking into some of these plays. Make sure that you are aware of how big AI will be, especially when you have blockchain mixed in with it. That's one of the biggest things that I've been noticing this year is blockchain and AI coming together to create this incredible use case. It's huge. And they even have been mentioning, the enterprises have been mentioning that in order for us to utilize AI, we need blockchain there because blockchain is actually providing a trust layer around AI, and it's giving us a glimpse more into how AI is functioning and being utilized. So blockchain with AI, it's a perfect match. Make sure that you are aware of this category, watch this category, research, and also pick out some projects that you personally think will do good. I personally think that this is going to be a big category in the next big run. Also, gaming, boasting about roughly $20 billion. There's some that are included on here that are also in the AI category. Like for an example, Render is on here. There's a few other ones. Personally, when it comes to gaming tokens, one thing that I love to look into is not so much the gaming tokens, not so much the tokens that are, for an example, like, oh, hey, you could do this with this token in game. I actually look at the platforms. One of my favorite coins right now in the gaming sector is actually Engine. ENJ. This is one that I personally have been looking into, watching, and seeing what they've been doing. It's one that, again, piques my interest simply because of what they have been doing and also the utility behind the token. Alluvium, it's a rough one. I know that a lot of people have been mentioning a few other tokens to me within the gaming sector that I just have not been looking into too much. For an example, Myria, this is one that I've been looking into slightly, but again, tokenomics, I'm not a big fan of the tokenomics. And it's simply why I've been looking into other projects like, for an example, Ultra, because of the tokenomics. I personally love the tokenomics. I love the platform. I love what they are doing. And this is something that I've been looking into around gaming tokens. Not so much, hey, this token is being utilized within the game. I don't really care so much about the token being utilized within the game because it's hard to get users to actually utilize an actual token to play games. I like the platforms where, developers need to utilize the token, or, whatever the use case could be. I just don't want the users to have to utilize a token because that is a big obstacle, and it's something that is not easily achievable, especially from Web 2 to Web 3. So definitely look into Engine, look into like the platform players. I also know Vulcan Forged PYR. It's a big player. Tokenomics are great on this one. So definitely look into it, research a little bit more around some of these tokens, but then also SocialFi. This is in more so the social token space because SocialFi, it's a rough category over on CoinMarketCap. But there has been some great players that have been emerging within the space in this category that I've been looking into. This is a little bit more of a riskier category because they're so new to the market. But there is a few good ones on here that you can look into. Again, like I said, SocialFi, gaming, AI, big areas. Now, the fourth one, real world asset tokenization. This is not a category that you're going to be able to find on CoinMarketCap. You're going to have to look into a few players that are in this space, maybe in the top 100, maybe even in the top 200. Look around, do research on tokenization. I've been talking about on this channel a few players, like, for example, Hedera doing some great things around tokenization. Also, Casper's doing some great things, Algorand also, but these are some very large market cap players. So unless you have a lot of capital to spur, it's going to be a little bit harder to make a ton of money. But it doesn't mean that there isn't money to be made. Like, for example, Hedera has a $3.1 billion market cap. This could 10x. It could even 20x as well. But look into some players that are doing some pretty big things around tokenization. Right now, I'm looking more so into real estate tokenization. Proppy is a great one with that as well. There's a few great ones within the space that are doing some pretty big moves around the tokenization space within real estate and even stocks, right? Aberdeen with Hedera is a big one to mention as well around money market funds. It's a great area of opportunity. But also, to look more into real world asset tokenization, you can look over on DeFi Llama and go to RWA. This is a category that they actually have on DeFi Llama, and this shows you all of the TVL, and it shows you the biggest players around real world assets. For example, Maker right now is the #1 chain, boasting about roughly $2.5 billion in TVL, but you can look into these other ones. I know Maple's doing some pretty good things as well. There's some other big players on here as well, but again, look into some of these categories, look into seeing how much TVL they actually have. And for an example, like if you hover over these, you could see the one chain, like this is Algorand with Lofty. This is actually real estate tokenization. And you can look into other ones as well. But for the most part, make sure that you are looking into every aspect to understand the players behind these real world assets, because it's hard to actually find these in terms of like a category over on CoinMarketCap. But there's other ways to find these by doing a little bit more research. Again, I know that research is not, everyone's favorite thing to do. But if you are playing with your money, especially hardworking money, make sure that you are doing research, because as fast as it can get invested is as fast as it could be zero tomorrow. So make sure that you understand the risk as well. But SocialFi, again, TVL rankings, you could see the chains that these are a part of. You could see the TVL over here. Again, some of these big ones like Stars and even Friendtech, they're kind of losing out a little bit on the hype, but I think that they could still be some pretty big players. I'm more so looking into SocialFi platforms that are more so kind of centered around like Web 2 UI. User interface is a big obstacle with a lot of these SocialFi tokens. So look more so into the UI, not so much the platform. The platform needs to be working. It needs to be something that's disruptive, and it needs to be a game changer. One of my favorite tokens is actually building out on Hedera. It's called Galaxy. Galaxy is doing things completely different. And they have an incredible UI. The underlying tech stack is also very good as well. Then gaming. Gaming TVL. The number one big player here is Illuvium. Illuvium has been a big player for a while. Like I said, they actually have their own token. They are on Ethereum. And again, with a lot of these players, you could probably find that they do have their own token, or if they don't have their own token, they are a part of a platform that already has their own token. Like for example, like Maple's built out on Ethereum, but Maple actually has their own token, MPL. But gaming, again, look at the TVL. You could also look at users as well. A statistic to look at with a lot of these gaming platforms is how many daily users do they have? How many monthly users do they have? That could give you a glimpse on how big of a player they are. Again, this is TVL with gaming, so platforms will not be included on here. So if you're looking to see if, let's say Engine, for example, is on here, it's not going to be. Ultra, not going to be, because they're not providing, like tokenization or anything like that on their platforms, or even like NFTs and things like that, which is mainly what is providing a TVL, or even like staking. That's not going to be on Engine or even Ultra. But if you look at the overall charts here, so going back to 2021 into 2022, the biggest gainer here in terms of TVL between gaming, real world assets, and SocialFi. AI is not going to be on here. AI doesn't have TVL or anything like that. Again, there is AI players that do have TVL, but they're not included on here. Gaming had about roughly almost $8 billion. That's very significant. Real world assets was only almost $176 million. Fast forward to where we are at now. Real world assets is at almost $3 billion. SocialFi, if we go to our recent our recent stats here, SocialFi almost $150 million. It's still a very minuscule market. Gaming though, 600 million. Right now, if we're talking about the 22nd, right? Well, the 21st is the last one that we have. Gaming was at 640 million. SocialFi was at about roughly 144 million. And real world assets, again, this is more so volume. I don't know if yeah, the statistic here is a little bit rough. So real world assets is about roughly almost $6 billion. I know that this was kind of glitching out on me a little bit, so I do apologize there, but it's roughly almost like $6 billion for real world assets, which is why I say like that's a huge category to watch as well. And I do think that with how much interest is based around this, with enterprises jumping in on this, with institutions looking into this a little bit more, with a lot of the players around real estate, for example, and even money market funds, even stock exchanges and things like that, this could get very interesting very fast. We know Larry Fink from BlackRock was recently on CNBC this year talking about how this is the next generation of equities markets and things like that. Again, pay attention to the players around this. I don't know if they're changing or like showing us all of the big players around TVL, but I do know that Hedera has become a big player. I don't think that they're even included on this list, which I think is crazy. Because Hedera has been doing some very big things around the real world asset tokenization space. So although that's not on here, definitely look into Hedera around real world asset tokenization. But these are some pretty big categories to watch for. These are the ones that I'm looking at. My plan of action is to hold a large portion of my portfolio in these categories. Like I said, these are the big ones that I think are going to get hit the hardest with a lot of capital. If we're talking about where we are going into the next run, I think that the altcoin market is poised for massive moves. And I do think that these are going to be the spaces, these categories are going to be the ones that see a large portion of that money flowing in. And I do think that this is going to account for us making a ton of money off of some of the big plays that we are already positioned in. If you guys do want to get more insights onto the plays that I have around AI, around gaming, SocialFi, things like that, You guys are more than welcome to join the Patreon. I do have a private Discord group set up with the Patreon as well. I give you guys all the ins and outs of my portfolio and things like that. So if you guys do want to join that, you guys are more than welcome to. I also do have a free Discord that I do give insights into as well. It's not as lucrative as the private Discord, but it is an open Discord where I do discuss things freely every single day. So if you guys do want to join that, there's going to be a link down in the description below. Also, go follow me on X as well. Link down in the description below as well, because I do put out some great topics, great discussions as well regarding things like, for an example, these big trends to watch for around crypto right now. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Peace out.